We have another young Indian with us now. Hello, everybody. Good to be back. Right now, we have with us Ashish Pandey. Let's listen to him. Over to you, Ashish.
Thank you, sir, for having me today. So I'll introduce myself. I am Ashish Pandey, and I am working in Dubai currently with Aditya Birla Global Trading. I work with commodity trading industry. So I completed my bachelor's, first my schooling from India, then I went ahead to do my engineering uh, in civil engineering. Post that I worked for 3 years in Tata Projects Limited as a project management engineer. And simultaneously, I was working for my CAT and MBA entrance exams, and I was able to clear. And then I joined my MBA with Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, where I graduated with finance. And through campus placement, I got placed in Dubai. And currently, I'm working with Aditya Birla Global Trading in the um, commodity trading industry. And it has been 1 year since I've been working here. And the domain that I'm working is majorly international business and international finance, risk management, trade operations, and shipping. So currently, my profile is of trade support analyst, where I am basically responsible for the logistics and supply chain of commodities, agriculture commodities mainly, like grains and oilseeds, like wheat, corn, and soybean, from the places of production where it is grown, majorly South American origins like Brazil and Argentina. So to the places of scarcity, we transport them using ships, and places high demand markets like China and India. So this is majorly what we are doing in my current job.
Okay. Tell us more.
Yeah. So if you want to talk more about my work profile, so
Now, let's talk about your college days first, and then we can
okay.
talk.
Okay, sure. So I have had two colleges, an opportunity to go to college twice. One during my bachelor's when I was in Dayal Educational Institute, Agra, and the other one was my higher education MBA. So which one would you want me to talk specifically so I can focus on that?
Well, since most people don't know about Dayal Bagh,
Yeah.
let's have that first.
Okay. So it is a university in Agra, Uttar Pradesh. So it is a government university and it has an entrance exam. So I gave that and I got selected in civil engineering course. So there I pursued, and it's a great college in my opinion. And it has a sense of culture to it. I mean, it is regulated by a body which is known as Radha Swami in Agra. So it is a community service body. So apart from the education, I used to live in the hostel as well. So we had classes in the morning, and then in the evening there were a lot of community service programs which I volunteered for, and I opted for those. So which included me going to the dairy. So they had their own. So they had very good ecosystem of their own. So they have the university, they have a hospital, they have agricultural land which they cultivate, and they have dairy as well. So they have a lot of cows and all. So a lot of students volunteer to work in those community services after their college hours. So I used to opt for the dairy services. So I actually used to go into the dairy farm and serve the cows and help the people there in the day-to-day operations of the dairy, which is like helping them prepare the feed and yeah, just basic stuff there. So yeah, so it was a very good experience, and the education was good, but even more than that, I think I learned a lot of discipline there, and humbleness, and being associated with the community, serving people, serving to the community as a whole. So I think it was a wonderful experience. Yeah.
Okay, let me stop you there for a minute. And I'll give you some news which is quite unusual.
Okay.
My mother is Radha Swami from Dayal Bagh.
Oh, wow.
She was
So
born
before,
in 19 she was born in 1920, and
okay.
to show the nature of that community,
Mm-hmm.
she was fluent in English, as she knew geometry and algebra.
Okay.
So the Albak community is a pioneer and
Mm-hmm.
very, very progressive and self-sufficient community.
Yes.
So as you notice, they have their own farm. So it was a very,
Mm-hmm.
very enlightened community. They were educating their girls in 1920
Yes.
until matric, which was a time when less than 2% of women were literate in India. And now,
Mm-hmm.
of course, they focus on engineering. All my mamajis were engineers. So the
Wow.
focus on engineering was there right
Yeah.
from the start. And you
Yes.
have experienced
Yes.
that. Okay, enough
Yeah.
from me. Let's continue.
Yeah. So yeah, very fulfilling experience there. Also, like just as you mentioned, so I noticed the kids work like studying there, especially of the people from the community, like those who are associated with Radha Swami. So their kids, they were like, it was mandated that they have to be good at one extracurricular activity as well. So they were very good at studies, but apart from that, like some of them were very good at music, some of them were like, very good with sports. So I think it was very like, you know, impressive to witness that they put so much efforts into the overall development of the people there. So great experience.
Okay, let's continue.
Yeah, yeah. So from there, I got a college placement, and I was selected in Tata Projects Limited, where I worked as civil engineer. And the journey was 3 years in that company, where I got to work in multiple geographies across the country. So I started my career with Hyderabad office, and after an initial 3 to 4 months of training, I was sent to a project in Ahmedabad, where I worked for the next 8 to 9 months, and then I briefly worked in Bombay office as well for some time, and then I was sent to South India in Tamil Nadu, where I worked for another 1.5 years until COVID. So COVID came, and then I quit my job, and I was
So how
preparing
did
for
you
my,
manage to find housing in all these places? Or the company has housing, or
yeah,
how does it work?
yes. Yes. So in field jobs, the company provides the housing. So they have their own guest house in these cities where all the company people live together. So they have multiple guest houses, and they accommodate you in one room. So one room per person, per employee. And they have the cook services, cleaning services, everything is there in the field job. So you can either opt for that, or you can take the housing allowance from the company and take it elsewhere as well. It's up to you. Yeah.
Okay.
So car, food, everything they used to provide the company. Yeah.
People say it's great working for the Tatas. What's your experience?
Yeah. People are right, I would say. Yes. So they do take care of the employees very well. Yeah. It's a good experience.
All right. So COVID came, right? Then what happened?
Yeah. Yes, then COVID came, and I was in Tamil Nadu at that time, and it was lockdown, and yeah, a little tough situation, and it was a very uncertain phase of my life, and I know that year I had to appear for my management exams as well, and yeah, it was chaos. Like I don't know what to do next, but I kept my preparation on, and then later, like when things started to improve, I had my management exams in CAT was in November. So yeah, so in May 2020, I left my job. I quit my job. Lockdown was open for a few days, so I was, I got a flight to fly back home, and then I was my home for the next couple of months where I prepared, and then I gave the exam.
You didn't
And
tell
luckily,
us where your home is.
okay, so I am from a small town in Uttar Pradesh. Yeah, so it is district Pilibhit. So it's close to Bareilly, if you would have heard.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a small town boy, and thankfully, whole of India, I worked multiple cities, worked with different cultures, and now I'm outside of the country working in Dubai for
Okay.
the past 12 months
Okay.
plus. Yeah.
So you took the exams, and then what happened?
Yes. So I gave my CAT exam. I got very good percentile. I got shortlisted by a couple of IMs, And IFT, my current college, it had its separate exam. So I also gave that and I cleared that as well. So I had that interview as well, and I gave interviews. And this was the best college that I got cleared. And yeah, I took admission here.
In Delhi?
So in Delhi, in Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, Delhi.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there were incredible 2 years of management MBA program. Very, I would say a lot of things I learned. It was a very fast program, and yeah, it was required a lot of efforts because all the subjects that I was studying were pretty new to me, like finance and everything. So I had engineering background, so it did require a lot of efforts. But yeah, all was rewarded pretty well, and I got placed in a very good company, and I came to Dubai with college placement.
Wow. But you aren't really doing finance there, are you?
So no, I do look. So my role involves supply chain as well as international finance.
Okay.
So it is finance, but in some way. So it is more like international finance, which requires the flow of payments. Because I procure something from Brazil and I sell something in China. So in between there is a flow of transactions, which is usually letter of credit, which is a financial instrument of international payment. So I do oversee that. So that is a part of finance. And apart from that, in commodity trading industry, there is a market risk involved because the prices are always fluctuating. So as a commodity trade support analyst, we also take risk, cover in terms of derivatives and hedgings, which are financial
That's
instruments.
finance. Now you're talking finance, right?
Yeah.
Derivative is
So
not calculus.
yeah, exactly.
For those who are
So
engineers who may think first derivative is calculus.
yeah, exactly. So my role is pretty wide. Yeah, it's supply chain and international finance. It involves both. So in trading, yeah.
How does Dubai manage the weekend? I mean, what exactly is the weekend in Dubai when the rest of the world is? So just tell us how it works.
Okay. So Monday to Friday, I'm in office. I mean, my office is in Business Bay, which is the hub of all the corporate places. Most of the offices are there, big offices. So Monday to Friday is work. I mean, I do get some time in the evening to go to gym and talk to family and all. And weekends are free, Saturday, Sunday. So if you have a good friend circle here, you can go out.
So they're
We have
not working
beaches.
on Islamic calendar.
No.
But how
Not
about the
really.
rest of Dubai? But not your firm, but how about it?
Like the whole country, they have Saturday and Sunday, especially
Okay.
Dubai. So
Okay.
this country has, like in India, we have states. So here
Yeah.
also there are 7 states, which
Yeah.
are known as seven emirates.
Yeah.
So I'm in Dubai. So Dubai have weekends, Saturday and Sunday off. It's
Okay.
non-working.
But
Yeah.
any of the other Emirates have a Islamic weekend? Or you
Not
don't?
that I'm aware.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware. Like
So everybody.
the second largest is Abu Dhabi
Yeah.
in terms of population, and they also have Saturday and Sunday off. So
Okay.
I have not seen that. But the rest of the places around in Middle East, they have Friday and Saturday
Yeah.
as weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your work is international, so it's best to have
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. So I am also dealing with like countries like Bangladesh where we are selling. So they have Friday off and Sundays working. So
Yeah.
sometimes I have to check my mails on Sunday as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Bangladesh is running on Islamic weekend.
Yeah, yes. So
So is it interesting work, or is it just work that pays you good money, or both?
it is both actually. So if you basically it's like a work which is not just paperwork, it's a physical commodity moving from one part of the globe to another part. So it's very interesting. And all the countries that we have business, I keep on reading about those. Like, for example, Brazil. So I keep reading about what is the geography like because I'm involved in agricultural trading, which is based on supply side more as compared to demand. So supply is based on weather conditions, you know, various government subsidies or not. What are the farmers going to, how much plantation they're going looking at. So all of those things. So I really get to learn a lot about various countries that I'm working in, and a lot of reports I read, and I follow the news there, and I talk to the people there. So we have teams sitting in Brazil, we have teams sitting in China. So it's international, and a lot of learning that way, and combined with the learnings in terms of finance and risk management. So it's pretty interesting work.
So how do you
And
handle the time difference? I mean, Brazil
yeah,
is
so yeah,
behind,
yeah,
China is ahead. How do you
yeah,
handle the time
yes,
difference?
yes. So what happens is that Dubai is in the center.
Yeah,
So when I go in the office, when I go at 9 o'clock, so that time my Singapore team and the China team are in their second half. So
yeah.
first half I cater to those teams, and in the second half of my day, the Brazil office opens. So in the second half we cater to Brazil. So that is the reason that Dubai is our main office,
Mhm.
where majority of the people sits, and we have small teams in the rest parts, and then we are able to, like as a headquarter, cater to their needs from here.
And everybody speaks English. How does it work?
Yeah, everyone speak English.
Okay. I
Like
mean,
the
even in Brazil, no problem.
yeah, the traders, they are good with English. I
Right.
don't know about the general public, but the
Yeah.
traders, they do very good in speak English. And I also try to learn Spanish. Like I know a bit of Spanish as well. So it's yeah,
And what about China? They also good at English?
yeah, they also speak English pretty well.
Okay. And they don't mind
Yeah.
buying from an Indian firm?
No, no. Basically, we are getting the Brazilian origin crop, not
Yeah,
the Indian origin crop. It's a
right.
Brazil crop that's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just we are just catering to the demand, but the product is of Brazil.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell us?
Yeah. So, I mean, I could just tell to the young people out there, like who are confused with their careers and all. Um, I can say that, and especially from my experience, like a person coming from a very small town out of Uttar Pradesh, and reaching like working in different parts of the country, and finally getting international placement and all. So I would just through this session tell to the young people out there that you know success comes with effort. I won't say I'm very successful, but I try to be. So it's the constant efforts, that will take you to places, and the choices that I made over the years. Because when I was in my first job, I could really get comfortable there, but I always had a vision in my mind. And apart from my normal working hours, I used to devote some time to the vision that I had in my mind, and continuously I kept on doing what is required to reach that vision. So I think it's the continuous efforts and the compounding those efforts, gives you makes all the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that is the only thing that I think I've learned over these years. So yeah.
Okay. Now, I usually don't lead the speakers, but this is a special case. I mean, I know
Yeah.
you are involved with FEA, and
Yes.
I'm, of course, involved with FEA also. I think they're a great NGO, but your perspective is different from mine. Our age difference is there, experience is there. I want to hear in public your experience with FEA and how you think other young people can take part in it.
Great. I have attended about 5 to 6 sessions with FEA till now, like 5 to 6 hours of session, and my experience has been really amazing. I mean, they are doing really great work, and the people joining in the audience comes from very humble backgrounds, and they really require the guidance that is um, to way for the way they plan to go ahead. And I think it's great work, and a lot of Mentors are joining FEA. Some of my friends are also there, and I was in fact recommended by a friend of mine. So I think it's very important because I recall when I was young, I didn't had that much of a guidance, and that time the internet was also not that famous like it is now today. That there's a lot of content available. Then it was not the same, and so these sessions are very helpful, and I try to connect with them as much as possible to understand what are their challenges, because their challenges would not be mine or anyone else's challenges. Everyone has very unique, you know. So we try to empathize and try to tell them about the different possibilities and what they can do. So it's a great work, and Amit sir is, I would really like to applaud him. It's a great work he's doing.
Yeah, these are all 18 to 26-year-old young people
Yes.
who couldn't get a good education because they are low income. But they're very hardworking and motivated, I find, and they really need the guidance. And
Correct.
what uh, Amit and I have worked out is a system by which others can join as our guests. This is not part of the FEA system, but we just said, look, we need to have young people with us. And I think you mentioned your friend. I think that Sidra. Sidra was one of the
Yes.
first persons I did a Vidped with long back. I think the first or
Okay.
second. So I want to mention her name because we need young women in there, because the young women who are part of the FEA group, they often face patriarchal issues, and it's easier if they can talk to other women so that they can get a more direct. Culturally, it's easier that way. So we do need both young men and young women to be guests. So guests means you don't have to be a mentor full time. You can just appear in sessions every now and then if that's what suits you. Okay, so I'm just
Definitely.
trying to make a pitch for FEA because so far they are in North India, 8 states. They are in villages also. But I did request them to expand to 2 states, West Bengal and Odisha, and they are now trying to do that. So they currently have 70,000 students. So I'm putting in a pitch to young people who might be watching this that please, you can be guests, and then later, when you have the time, you can become a mentor yourself.
Right.
I find the program to be very useful. And I think
Yes.
you see the difference between session 1 and session 5. We have 5 sessions with them. In the first
Yes.
session, the students can barely speak. In the fifth session, they are speaking quite well. What do you say to that, Ashish?
Yeah, definitely. And I met a few of the, people who told me that they want to have an e-commerce business, or anyone want to be like a football player. And those are very different and unique, goals that I thought that those people had, because usually it's all doctors and engineers. And when I was young, so I also had the same. So I would like to applaud that, like the scenario has changed, and a lot of options people are exploring, and it's a very good, way to for the country to move ahead of the diverse professions that people now want to pursue.
Yeah, and of course, there's no fee charged to the students. There's no scholarship program. Everybody's free. So
Mm-hmm.
if you are
Correct.
selected, then it's free. Okay, good. Anything else you want to tell us, Ashish?
I would want to thank you once again for having me in this session, and really good to be associated with you and Amit sir, and really nice initiative that you both have taken, and it's really inspiring, and I hope that people are benefited from what we are doing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much. Let's end it
Yeah.
here today. Maybe we'll catch up with you in 1 year to see which country you are in.
Yeah,
Maybe
sure.
now that you've started going outside India, maybe you might be in Brazil or China. Who knows?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
might be selling
Yep.
Chinese stuff in Brazil instead of selling Brazilian stuff in China. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah. That's
right.
what trade is about. Yeah.
That's
Thanks.
what
Thanks.
trading is about, right? Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay, so let's say bye, and I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Bye, everybody.